Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. I'm about to be doing a psychic tarot reading, so sit back, relax, enjoy. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it does not. Okay, let's get into it. And for those of you who were wondering about the gum that I was chewing, because there was a lot, I'm chewing Spry gum, okay? Spearmint, my favorite flavor. And I like this gum because it has no sugar. Or no added sugar, I guess. It could have sugar in there, I don't know. Has xylitol, gum base, bunch of other stuff in there. Yeah, I like this gum. It's supposed to be good for your health. Cool, let's keep on moving. Okay, so your reading for today. So who am I talking to? Who am I talking to today? Who are you talking to? You're talking to me. Are you even talking? I don't know. I'm probably the only one talking right now. All right, let's go. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Ay, 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 ay. That card is not my favorite card to see, but it means that the seeker here is probably trying to work against the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so maybe you're taking actions that you don't need to be taking to reach the goals that you want to reach. What does this mean? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so I'm getting in my mind partnership, but partnership that does not lead to good things. So if you are wondering about starting a venture, starting an enterprise, starting a business, starting a project, whatever you're starting, it's a it's like something that many people are going to be a part of, or you want many people to be a part of it. Okay? Whatever that thing is, right now in your mind, you might be saying to yourself, well, I need a partner, or I need support, or I need a team, right? To do this thing, to make it happen. And Spirit is saying, you don't need a team. Okay? We're going to give you a team. Like if you want a team, we're going to give you a team. But you don't need a team. And we are going to, Spirit, essentially, is going to not give you the team until you don't need the team. Once you don't need the team, that's when they can come in. Okay? That's when they're allowed to come in. But I think right now, you are a free agent. You are somebody who Spirit wants you working by yourself, doing your own thing, filling in all of the roles by yourself so that you can be a self-sufficient being. And once you're self-sufficient, that's when you start bringing in more people, okay? Or that's when more people will start coming in. But right now, it's not the time to bring in more people. Yeah, there's too much going on with these other people, okay? There's too much going on in your own mind and psyche, and there's too much going on in other people's minds and psyches. One of the things could be comparison, jealousy, infighting, arguing, deciding who's the leader, deciding who runs the show, who doesn't run the show. There's all of these different ideas, right? And before you become secure in your self-sufficiency and knowledge of what you're doing and how you're doing it and how well you're doing it and all this stuff, it's going to be hard for you to navigate that world of, potential infighting and fires that you have to put out and, different things that will come up for you. Okay. So, and I feel like this is a very business oriented reading, and like you're probably somebody who's very driven, very inspired, loves to take action. However, now is not, I feel like you have all of that inspiration, love to take action, and you want to work on a certain aspect of the business. Okay, let me see here. Let's keep going. Lovers in reverse. Guys, this is a really, really, there's a prominent message here to turn inwards and to focus on your own healing, your own journey, your own ideas, your own execution, your own self-sufficiency, rather than trying to figure out anyone else at this time. Okay? Now, and with the Lovers being out here in reverse, which is good either way, reverse or upright, it's very significant to the idea that you are already doing this. You're already coming into harmony with who you are. Your divine masculine, your divine feminine, these two things are coming together very, 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 very well right now. Okay. Trying to fix my hair, trying to make this thing work. Okay. So you're discovering more about yourself, and during this process, it can be uncomfortable. And so in that moment of uncomfortable feeling, we have a tendency, or I'm feeling that there's a tendency here to reach out to other people and to say, hey, can you help me with this? Or hey, I'm having trouble with this area of my business. I know that you're a marketer, or I know that you do this or you do that. Can you come in and help me with this? I think that, and what I'm feeling from Spirit is Spirit wants you to figure out how to do that thing by yourself first before bringing them in. Okay? It's like marketing is about 80% of all businesses. Okay? So oftentimes the CEO makes less than the head marketing director. Okay? Or let's say you bring on a marketing consultant. Marketing consultant often makes more than the CEO of the company. Okay? That's just because of the nature of it. And here's the example. The example is, if you are a CEO who is looking for a marketer, you must know something about marketing in order to hire a good marketer. Because otherwise you're going to be looking at a field of marketers not knowing what's what, not knowing who's who, not knowing what a good offer is or a bad offer, not knowing who's good or bad, because they're all essentially the same unless you have the distinction. And the distinction comes from knowledge, from self-knowledge and wisdom, right? The wisdom is to get the knowledge before you choose the person. And I feel like that's what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be marketing. It could be editing. It could be engineering. It could be mixing and mastering. It could be doing all of these things. It's like you want to go to the studio to record your work. But it's like if you go to the studio and you pay for 2 hours, it's like $500. But if you're learning how to use the studio for the first hour and a half, you only have 30 minutes to record. You've just you haven't screwed yourself, but it's a waste of time and a waste of money, right? And so instead of going to the studio right off the bat, instead figure out how the studio works. How does this work? How is the music mixed and mastered? Look into the other side of whatever you do. Okay? So if you're on the studio side of things, get into the performance side of things. If you're on the performance, get into the studio. Look into how the things work, okay? Become more well-rounded. That's what Spirit wants from you right now. Okay? And being more well-rounded will bring in more energies that will help you in your life. I mean, Henry Ford was a famous man, ultra rich. He didn't know how to build an engine. He didn't know how to do that. But he hired engineers who knew how to do that, okay? But what Henry Ford didn't know how to do is he knew how to ask questions. And he knew how to run a business. And he knew what he needed to know. And he knew who he needed to go to figure out what he needed to know. And I feel like that's also out here. So mentors are probably also important. Just not bringing on people to help you, okay? Yeah, 6 of Wands. You're much more capable than you think. And you're much more capable than a lot of the people that you might be looking at right now to bring in. Okay? Like, you're very smart. You're very, very smart. And so you could learn marketing. You could learn editing. You could learn mixing and mastering. And you could probably do it better than most of these people. And you could probably do it. And here's the thing. Not only are you very smart, but you're also very particular. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You like things a certain way. And so when it comes to whatever this thing is that you're bringing on, you want it to be done a certain way. And so you're probably going to have to learn how to do it in order to produce that version of the art that you're trying to produce. Okay? So that's all it is. It's just learning those skills. And here's the thing, you're going to suck at it. And well, you might not suck at it if you've done it before, but if you haven't done something before and you're doing it for the first time, you're probably going to suck at it. That's what happens. It happens to me, it happens to everybody. Everybody sucks at everything that they do right off the bat. And this is part of being humble and part of having humility. It's like, am I going to stop doing what I'm doing right now because I feel like I suck at it? Or do I need to do more of it because I suck at it? And there's these different like decision points that we have to make, that we come to. And it's like, well, if you're really, really bad at something, maybe just don't try that thing at all. Don't ever try that thing. Like, let's say, you don't know how to skin a cat, right? It's like, you suck at skinning cats, but why learn how to skin a cat? Doesn't matter, right? So you can let those things go. But the things that matter to you, like let's say you make music, and you don't know how to engineer music, but you make music, you're great at music. Maybe it'd be not so important, but beneficial to you to learn how to mix and master music. And by, it's not important, it's not something that you need to do, but it's something that will expand your consciousness and perception in a way that Spirit wants you to expand your perception, okay? So just reaching out a little bit into that other, and I'm not feeling like Spirit wants you to do so much, like become an expert on mixing and mastering, or whatever it is, marketing or whatever. They want you to just know it enough. Get the rudimentary 3rd grade education on it. And so you have an understanding. I feel like that would help you a lot right now. Okay? Listen for words of wisdom. Notice what is being said. Wise and well-timed advice from a loved one, a poignant line delivered in a movie or a podcast, a conversation overheard on the street that speaks to a situation in your life may hold important intuitive guidance. The written word proves profound. Okay, so there's so many orators in history that have exceptional speeches, exceptional words, okay? Well-spoken words. And what I'm looking for when I look for a podcast or I look for something, I look for somebody to listen to, I look for mentors. What I'm looking for is truth. And what I'm looking for is the fruits of the person. Okay? So if I'm on YouTube and I'm looking for personal development, I'm looking for a speaker who has fruit, who bears fruit, so that I can listen to him. Because any speaker who bears fruit, well, they must have done something to get that fruit. Okay? And so if I want to know how to get that fruit, and so that's why I look to the fruit. I look to the fruit of the speaker in order to determine whether or not I'm going to listen to that person. And it's the same with the people in my life, okay? Whether it's my dad, my mom, my grandma, my boss, my coworkers, anybody, okay? I look at their fruit before I listen to them. If they do not have a good relationship, I do not listen to them about relationships. If they have an exceptional marriage, I listen to them about marriage. And it goes on and on like that. If they don't know how to tie if I notice that their shoes are not tied, they wear Velcro. I'm not going to learn how to tie my shoes from this person, okay? And they could know, sure. A lot of people know. A lot of people know a lot of things. It's the implementation that I'm looking for in the speaker, because I'm looking to pick up the energy from them. I want to feel that. I want to be moved by it. I want to feel the emotional content of the speech. Okay? And so listen for words of wisdom. In network marketing, they call it in business. Okay? I'm pretty sure it started somewhere in network marketing, but it's in business now. Golden nuggets is what they call it. And there's all these terms in business. But one of the terms that I like is golden nuggets. Because you can go to a seminar and a guy's talking about taxes, or a guy's talking about networking, or whatever it is. and you go to the seminar, and maybe you know everything you feel like you know everything you can about marketing or networking or whatever the seminar is on. But you're listening for those golden nuggets. And I feel like, in the book Think and Grow Rich, it talks about this. The book has a lot of information. And throughout every chapter in the book, it says, all you need is one piece. Many times people come across information like books like Think and Grow Rich, and they think, I got to read the whole book. And it's like, it's not true. You probably know a lot of those things in that book, but there's something, one or two things, maybe just one thing, that if you hear it, it will click for you. Okay? It's going to click for you. And, when you work on your higher chakras, your third eye, your crown, your throat, your heart, when you work on these chakras, but you have underdeveloped lower chakras, and it could be in any subject, okay? Just like any subject. When you lock in that root chakra, which is what I've been working on, it's sort of like activates everything. Everything gets turned on. Because you have all of these higher faculty skills, but you need that one little, it's like a key. And it's just one golden nugget. It's one thing you hear that changes everything. Okay? It's just one thing. You hear it and it's just like everything shifts. And many, 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 many times, and that's why I like these videos, I like tarot readings, but many times it is one idea that changes everything. Okay? Doesn't take a whole book. It does not take a whole seminar. It does not take all this intake. Okay? It doesn't take all of that. But we take it in anyways. Because by allowing yourself to be inspired, to be moved, to be driven, to be hurt, to be wounded, allowing yourself to feel all of this stuff. Okay? Because you don't know what experience is going to turn you on. Sometimes desire sits and waits, lies dormant. And it sits there and it waits for that perfect opportunity. It waits for that experience. And what is that experience usually? Well, usually that experience is enough is enough. I'm tired of things being this way and I'm ready for things to move on. Sometimes it's that. Okay? One of the old Jim Rohn stories is, guy takes a shotgun to his car. Says, I'm not gonna drive this rusty old bucket ever again, and nobody else will ever again either. Okay? Takes a shotgun to his car, shoots the thing. 5 years later, he's a multi-millionaire. Guy comes up to him and says, how'd you become a multi-millionaire? Guy says, why don't you come look at this car? Why don't you come look at this car? But what he did was he shot his car so he wouldn't have to. He said, enough is enough. I'm not driving this goddamn car anymore. I'm not driving this thing. And so, Jim Rohn, he talks about that feeling of disgust, being disgusted with your current circumstances. Enough is enough. I am done. Disgust is a powerful, powerful emotion that leads to significant change, I believe, for the better. So, there's that. Listen for words of wisdom. There's many, many words of wisdom around you. There's a lot of mentors coming in. I feel a lot of your spirit guides are wanting to come in and tell you things. But I feel like that's because you're tapped in. Okay, King of Wands, exactly. King of Wands. We've been seeing the King of Wands a lot in these past couple readings. Hold on. Get my little pen here. I'm gonna write this down here. So the King of Wands upright, and this represents a very good leader. Somebody who sits back, is relaxed. I feel like he has a very relaxed hand when he's holding his wand. but his wand extends farther down than his foundation. It runs deeper, okay? And these wands in tarot, they represent spirituality, passion, primordial energy, okay? Primordial. Very, very cool. Fire, like this raging fire. And it extends below his foundation. So even where your foot find their footing, even where your feet find their footing, the core of your being, the fire within you, it runs a lot deeper than that. And even though you're very gentle with that fire, I feel like you've tamed it here with the King of Wands, okay? You've tamed the fire. You're sitting in your sacral chakra, okay? And you're learning how to express yourself and express your heart. But the king is not learning, the king knows. So you know how to express your heart. I was reading about the king Nebuchadnezzar today. Oh, King Nebuchadnezzar has a dream. In his mind, he's like, I got this dream. So he's like, okay, wise men, prophets, mystics, magicians, everybody come here. So they all gather around, all the wise men in this kingdom. They say, what do you want? Or what brings us here, my liege? And Nebuchadnezzar's like, I had a dream. I need it to be interpreted. You guys are all magician and wise men. You should know what I dreamed already. Tell me what I dreamed, or I'll kill you all. So they come up to him and they're like, dude, nobody can. They all, talk, discourse, whatever. And then they come to the king and they say, oh, well, no man on earth, as great as all of the magicians are, can tell you what you dreamed of before you dreamed of. Simply impossible. And so, dang, I might be missing parts of the story here. I'm paraphrasing. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure he wanted them all dead. Okay, so you see, like, sentenced them to death. He's like, let's kill them all. But then there's this guy who came from Judah, okay, or the land of wherever, and it's these 4 guys that are under, they're mentees to some, I don't know what establishment they were in, but there's 4 guys from Judah that were in the kingdom, and one of the guys is Daniel, okay? Daniel, God came to Daniel and said, hey, I can help you interpret things. Any visions, any dreams you can interpret. All right, so they went to Daniel. Somebody came to Daniel and said, hey, this king, Nebuchadnezzar, he's got this dream. He's going to kill everybody. We need you to discern what his dream is. And also, we need you to tell us what the interpretation is as well. He's like, well, I can't do that. I'm going to have to ask God for that. I don't know how to do that. I have to ask God. And so Daniel goes and he's like, okay. He gets his 3 friends and he says, okay, guys, pray for me. Pray that God gives me this vision. And so God did. And so Daniel goes to Nebuchadnezzar and he's like, here's what you dreamed of. You dreamed of a golden head, silver body, bronze arms, iron legs, and some iron and clay feet. And he talks about how your kingdom is the golden head, but after your kingdom there will be a lesser kingdom, and after that one there will be a lesser one, and after that one there will be a lesser one, and after that one there will be a lesser one. And yada, 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 yada. But anyway, so he correctly interprets the king's dream. He tells him what he dreamed. And then he interprets what that interpretation was. But the entire time he's like, dude, this isn't me. It's not me who does this. I'm not doing it. Daniel just keeps on telling the king, I'm not the one. Like, it's God. I literally just asked God what it was, and God told me. I'm not doing any of this. Okay? I don't even know what the point of that story was. But okay. So here's the thing. So I feel like Daniel's connection to God there is your same connection to this staff, or the King of Wands' connection to this staff. He's holding it as if it's his, but it goes deeper than him. And he's sort of not really holding it. He's sort of like relaxing his hand. And so I feel like you can ask God for things and God gives them to you. But you don't claim them. You don't say it's me doing it. You walk in your heart. just like Daniel did. And I feel like you don't really need much. The king after Nebuchadnezzar came to Daniel as well, because the king after Nebuchadnezzar, I don't know what his name was, but he was having a feast, and he brought in cups, and the cups were from the temple in Jerusalem, and they were gold and silver cups, and he drank wine with these cups, feasting, and they were worshiping the gods of silver, gold, stone, wood, and rock, or whatever. And this hand appears out of nowhere, and it writes on the wall. I'm missing parts of the story here. I'm missing parts of the story. I wonder why I'm missing parts of the story. I don't know. I don't know at all. At some point in my reading, Daniel's 3 friends were thrown into a blazing fire. And I don't know when that was. But anyways, I thought I would bring that up. There's a boiling furnace of fire. And for some reason, because of the king, whichever king it was, not interpreting drink, whatever happened, he threw his 3 friends into the fire and they didn't burn at all. Oh, this is Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, they didn't burn. So he's like, hey, come here. You guys are actually, I'm going to worship your God. Something like that. Anyways, I think this King of Wands, I feel like Daniel's here. And I feel like your connection to spirit is the same as Daniel's connection. You don't really, you don't ever give credit to yourself. And you're favored because of this. You always give it to God. Let me see here. Rise above for eagle perspective. Enhance your intuition by contemplating the entire landscape and multiple perspectives. Okay. Okay, let's talk about messages. So we know that you're listening for words of wisdom. We know that you want to be on your own sort of time. Hidden secrets can harm you. Rise above for eagle perspective. So there's things that you're not seeing right now that Spirit wants you to ask Spirit to help see. Okay? Certain things that you're not seeing that Spirit you would benefit from seeing these things. Okay? Let me see here. Wonderful news is on the way. Smart choices that bring rewards. Success and public recognition. Okay, creating healthy distance from a person, group, or issue or situation by viewing the broader perspective while gliding on the broad wingspan of the eagle. Hidden secrets can harm you. Wonderful news is on the way. So if there's a situation that you're wondering about, or you don't know like what's going on with that situation, there's a favorable outcome here, and there's rewards coming from this. I feel like you probably don't. There's something that you're not seeing here. Celebration, fun, and enjoyment. Wow. These secrets are good, but wait, hidden secrets can harm you. Skull. Rise above for eagle perspective. Wonderful news, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. I think you're wondering about something, but it's gonna be okay. You're at a high vibration. You're really bringing in everything that you need to bring in. You're celebrating. You're having fun. You're enjoying. What is this skull over here? Hold up. Plenty of material things are coming in. Hidden secrets can harm you. So here's what it is. The harm is that you're unsure about this stuff coming in. I feel like you're in a position right now, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, where it's like 5 of Wands in reverse, the Lovers in reverse. You're still coming back into yourself, and you're learning how to let go of the need for others, okay? And so what you haven't realized yet is that, and you might have realized this, but you're realizing it as time goes on. And I feel like it's coming in, and it's sort of like it's coming in waves. But you're realizing that you are actually a master manifester. You're much more powerful than you ever thought that you were. that you think that you are right now, for sure. And so your ability to manifest is much greater than you think it is. You can manifest celebration, wonderful news, smart choices, public recognition, plenty of material things, but there's something hidden here. There's something that you can't see. What is this skull here? The world. Your destiny is to be great. And here's the thing. Here's the big message. You have already arrived. Okay? You want to start your spiritual journey? Okay, it's finished. Never do you start your spiritual journey. The start of the spiritual journey is it's the start of realizing that you've already done it. Okay? And so the spiritual journey is literally, it starts with you being a realized being, full, already, done, complete. And then you have a thought that separates you from anything, right? Just one thought. And this is the same story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, naked, completely one, completely everything is one with them. And then they eat the apple. Knowledge. A thought comes in. God comes to Adam. Who told you were naked? Who taught you about shame and guilt? Right? Who convinced you that you weren't God? Yourself, your mind. Exactly. Because when the mind comes in and it starts to differentiate things and separate things and say, that's that, this is this, you've convinced yourself outside of yourself. Because in reality, you're already it. There's no work for you to do. There's no thing for you to accomplish. There's no consciousness for you to activate. There's no code for you to access. There's no key for you to find. You are already it. And the only thing that you have to do, and this is what the spiritual journey is, it's releasing the mind, releasing the separateness that you yourself have created for you yourself. That's it. It's getting rid of all of the thoughts in your mind that tell you that you are not it, because you are. That tell you that you're not complete, because you're already complete. That tell you that you have a journey to go on, because you don't. You have no journey to go on. There's no healing for you to do because you're already realized. It's very interesting how this all works itself out into manifestation, because we have many people, who are realizing themselves. And you look at the end of the journey, the spiritual journey, and it's like, where's the end? Well, the end is at the beginning. The beginning is the end. The end is the beginning. This is what Jesus said. Unless ye be like little children, you will not know God or the kingdom of heaven. So what is a little child like? A little child just knows, just is, just bees. And this is the whole thing. It's like, where's that confidence come from? Where's that spiritual confidence? Well, it comes from just knowing. And yeah, sometimes, and this is what the journey is. Sometimes you have to go through a trial, a tribulation, you have to be told. It's like, you go to the Zen monastery for 10 years. And there's been stories of people who've gone to Zen monasteries and they've written books, and they have books that you can read that they talk about their journey in the Zen monastery. And they spend 10 years at the Zen monastery only to realize that Ryushi didn't have anything to teach him. There's nothing for me to teach you. And that's what he said. That's what the Zen master said when he first went to the monastery. He said, I have nothing for you. Well, what are all these students doing here? Isn't there something that you have to learn? Why are you so peaceful? How are you so equanimous? Equanimity, whatever. He said, well, I have nothing to teach you. So, okay, well, I'm going to join your monastery. Okay, fine. I got nothing to teach you. And then there's this dialogue for 10 years of, rigorous disciplines and this and that and this and this, whatever. And at the end of it, he realizes, man, this guy doesn't know anything more than I know. This guy isn't any more realized than I am. We're both the same. It's just he can't be convinced out of himself as much as I can be convinced out of myself. And that's the whole game. If there is any game at all. Okay? If there is any game at all. And so I feel like the hidden secrets here is that there are no hidden secrets. I mean, in reality, you are already the world. You already have plenty of material. You already are at this vibration of success and triumph. And so any actions taken from any other standpoint need not to be taken. Wheel of Fortune reverse. You don't need partners if you've already realized all the things that you need to realize. You don't need a master, a mentor if you've already been real. That's the thing though, right? Coming at things with the approach of, I'm going to do this because it's what my heart wants me to do. I'm going to do this because it feels great. Rather than I'm going to do this because I need this, or I need to learn this in order to heal this. Or I need to fix this part of me, so I need to do that. Or saying to yourself, oh, well, I want to become more well-rounded because I'm not well-rounded now. It's like getting rid of all of the reasons why you do things and just doing things because whatever, right? Not really wanting or needing to explain it to other people. I feel like that energy is coming in. All right, what else we got going on? Okay, so Two of Pentacles, Temperance in reverse. So Temperance in reverse, I see that as it's a very healing card. It's you healing, okay? And what you're healing is you're healing this wishy-washy, multitasking energy, this two-pointedness, or three-pointedness, or four-pointedness, or five-pointedness. You are coming back into your center, and you're realizing that focusing on one thing at a time is powerful. And actually gets a lot more done than focusing on three things at once. Where focus goes, energy flows. Okay? Constant. Set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep, or a vacation. Okay, so with that card coming out, I feel like this is sort of just going to be a reading that sits with you. Okay? And I want you to sit with it, sit with the ideas, and allow them to just permeate your being rather than trying to do anything about this stuff. This reading is more spirit saying, hey, take a step back. There's nothing that you need to really do right now. In fact, it's probably better that you meditate and you just sort of allow things to happen. And I don't mean don't do anything, right? I don't want to put a wall there for you. I'm saying that don't do anything until wild horses could not hold you back from doing it. Okay? Do the things that you really want to do when you really want to do them. And before that, just wait. Okay? That's what I feel like Spirit wants from you going forward. Okay? Let's pull out some more cards though. Let's pull out some more cards because now I got you. This is definitely your reading if you made it this far. I mean, it's resonating for you. So let's see if there's any other cool messages that we have here. We have the key, the talisman. Ooh, and I've been getting these messages, okay? And I myself picked up 2 talismans pretty recently. I have so many little talismans and so many little totems around the house, okay? I love them, and I go garage selling and thrifting all the time, so I pick them up. And I picked up these little... I'm going to show one. I'm not going to show the other one. I'm going to show one. But I picked up this... I'm going to go get it right now. Okay, so... Let me start this out. Like, I love going to estate sales, garage sales, stuff like that. Okay, thrift stores, all that stuff. And what I've been learning over the course of the, last 5 years, 6 years that I've been going to garage sales, reselling, and doing stuff like that. Things like I've always known that things hold energy and like crystals hold energy and stuff like that. But it's a different, like, I have an experience with touching a lot of things like that people have died with, or that people lived with, or very, like, people's talismans. And so when I went to this estate sale, I was looking around, and all of a sudden my Reiki hands lit up. And so I'm a Reiki master. My mom is a Reiki master. She taught me how to do Reiki when I was young. But my Reiki hands lit up, okay? And they're on right now. I can feel them. But they lit up, and I was like, okay, something's here. And it happens that way. Like, when I walk into a estate, and this was a house. The people hadn't died yet, but they moved away or whatever. And I walked into the house, and I was like, whoa, okay, what's here? And so my mission at that point is to go and seek out whatever my hands are calling me to seek out. So I hover my hands around everything. And what I was realizing at this one sale was almost like a lot of the little trinkets had really good energy on them. And I would know, I touch a lot of stuff from a lot of different places. I can feel all this little energy. So I came across these boxes, okay? I got 2 of them. This is one of them. And I picked up the box, and I was like, okay. I immediately knew what was going on, okay? And yesterday, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but yesterday I had an epiphany about Saturn. A Saturn return occurs every 29 and a half years, okay? The book Numerology, The Divine Triangle, talks about a shift that happens at the same time. And so I feel like Saturn is a really significant part of life for me, and maybe for my collective, I don't know. But we're gonna move into this story, okay? So I got this little box. I picked it up. I felt the energy, and right away my hands were like, yep. They were tingly. I was like, okay, this is definitely what it is. And every time, like, it's just such a nice little totem or whatever. This is a ram, okay? It's a jade ram, okay? And that's the talisman I got. It has a little pedestal or whatever. All right, little pedestal. Put on this little pedestal right there. Anyways, why I bring up Saturn is because Saturn is in Aries, okay? Saturn is currently in Aries. And so what that means to me, okay, is this is a ram. And I'm like, well, something about Saturn, because I keep on pulling Saturn. And so I'm like, okay, what about Saturn? Well, here's a ram. Saturn's in Aries. Saturn in Aries, I looked it up. It's all about, for me personally, about constructing more, getting more structure around, like, this community, businesses, my home, everything. Like, it's just structuring things. And so, talisman card came out. So there might be talismans coming for you as well, okay? Your healing hands might be showing you something, taking you somewhere. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to energy on things, okay? Another thing that I've been doing is like spring cleaning. Going through the house, touching things, feeling the energy of things. And, even if something looks good, or if let's say you like it, or it looks good, or, it's something practical, or it's something that somebody gave you. If you touch it and it has some bad energy on it, get that thing out of your house, man. Feng Shui says, like, things that, things that disturb your energy will really affect everything. They'll affect your luck, your fortune, they'll affect your wealth, all that stuff. So you don't want to do that, okay? Your mood, which is so important, okay? New life, talisman. So you're getting the key to a new life. You're getting your keys to a new house, new car, new something very soon, collective. New life, beautiful, okay? Looks really, really good. You will receive a gift. Bam. You're getting a gift. You're getting a new life. Plenty of material things. The world. Celebration. Fun. Wonderful news. And you're healing indecisiveness. You're getting rid of other people's energy. Or it's not other people's energy. It's not people. It's programs. Okay? These aren't people's energies. These are programs of energy that are consistent with your old version that are falling off. And so the people Even the people who embodied the program will change and embody new programs. And so you get to decide what those programs are through mind movies, through worship, through focusing on one thing, okay? Through goals, vision boards, through affirmations, through mantras, through meditations, visualizations, all the stuff. Magic, okay? Magic. And oh my goodness gracious. I love y'all. You guys are awesome. You guys are really, really good. Okay? I got a really, really good collective here. You know, and we started this reading with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which generally is not the best way to start a reading. Okay? Not at all. And then the Three of Pentacles in reverse as well. And then the Five of Wands. And I was like, whoa, what's going on there? But we can see what happened. And we can see how it works itself out at the end. Like it always will for you. Okay? This is how it works for Earth Angels. Like, you think things are going to fall through the cracks, but then the cracks are just, they're not even there. Okay? It's just an illusion. All right. I love you guys. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.